Well, we know his condition is improving. Mercedes have told us that, but we know also he has to test negative for COVID-19. There's a window of opportunity for Lewis Hamilton to compete in this Grand Prix, but it's quite an open one. He, as long as he can take part in one of the practice sessions, including qualifying, then he can go ahead and race in the Grand Prix itself on Sunday. And as I understand it, the authorities here are going to do all that they can within the bounds of safety to allow that to happen, because he is top of the bill. He is the 7-time world champion. Today, we hadn't any official update either from his team, from the FIA, or from Formula One itself, but Martin Brundle had this to say about what he'd learned about Hamilton's situation.
I believe he's had some negative tests in Bahrain. He's on his way here, providing he gets another negative test. I think it's highly likely he could be in the car as early as Friday, and then George Russell back down in the Williams. But it's far from certain, but that's my understanding of the way it's heading.
Well, if that is the case, that's good news for Lewis Hamilton, both on the health front and as far as it goes in terms of him closing out the season, his record-breaking F1 season on a high here at Yas Marina. It wouldn't be such good news, of course, for George Russell, who so distinguished himself in the Mercedes in the Sakir Grand Prix, only being denied a victory in that race by, on the first case, a mix-up in the pit stops, and then a puncture sustained very late on. Here was how he was sizing up his prospects this weekend of getting back into that Mercedes.
We are obviously waiting on Lewis to return with a negative result. If he does, he'll be in the car. So as it stands, I'm just approaching this weekend as if I am driving a Mercedes. What happens tonight, tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see.
And you'll go back to Williams. You won't just be subbing. You won't.
If Lewis comes in, I'll be going back to Williams.
You can maybe detect in George Russell's voice there a little bit of a somber tone. I think he is rather fearing the worst, that he will be back in the Williams this weekend. But it would be certainly good news from this event's perspective if what Martin Brundle says is right, that Hamilton has tested negative and that he's on his way here.